What's up, six queers and a straight? So the topic was, what are you passionate about? I guess I'm passionate about the truth, just because I feel like the truth does set you free. I think it depends on who you are, though. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like really, I think it's very tough though. For like, it's really tough to face the music. You know what I'm saying? That's why there's so many delusions out there. But but I feel like it helps you move on. I think people can become happier if they deal with the truth intelligently. Let's just put it that way. I'm also passionate about hot girls, but I think you already know that. And then so this week's topic is, how do you feel about if there was a gay village, like a place only for LGBT people, to only talk about their feelings and relate to one another? And what are some childhood memories you won't forget, as well as what current bands or music you are listening to? Okay. The village thing, wait, how do I feel about it? Okay. I wouldn't want to live there. I don't even know if I'd want to like visit the place, honestly. I mean, if it's like a whole village, I think it would fucking like kill me. I can barely stand the groups, you know what I'm talking about? Let alone, like, those groups at school? I can barely stand being in that, let alone like a whole village. Like I said, because I feel like, I'm not saying all of them are like this, but from experience, a lot of them, like half of them would basically be quote unquote cutters, except I think they did it not out of pain but for attention. It was like, who can like outdo the other with how much, like who with the most outrageous cutting stories, you know what I'm saying? Which, see, that's not dealing with the truth, that's just diluting. Let's see, I don't think all of them are like that, but I'm just saying, like half of them were. Say the other, like, probably like 40% took out, they bullied me not a little, they bullied me. I'm not gonna fucking play with you. They made, I've had someone email me about this where, the group made fun of her name. They did the same thing. Well, they didn't make fun of my name, but they made fun of me. They made fun of, they did make Asian jokes. So, I feel, so it's like the other 40% are kind of like bullies, honestly. Why are they bullies? Because they won't face the truth. Because, like, instead of facing the reality that they're miserable, they take their shit out on other people. That's why I'm so passionate about the truth. It's just because it just makes everyone miserable when depending on the delusion, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it's human to freaking cope, but but pounding on other people for no apparent reason, I feel like, I think that's kind of, I don't know, I'm against bullying. I'm against victimizing. And remember, victimizing is when there's a direct target, if they personally attack you. It's another, if it's a generalized comment, and then people get offended. Like, I do generalized comments. I rarely do personal comments. Not unless someone provoked me. But then it's like they're not innocent anymore because they started shit with me. So I don't think I could handle like a village of that stuff. I don't know. I wouldn't kill myself, but I'd probably just, I'd leave. I'd leave. I don't think I could ever live there. I might go there just to see what's up, but, out of boredom, but I wouldn't want to be there forever. I think the community definitely perpetuates their own inequality by separating themselves, and that would definitely be like something where it's just like you ain't getting equal rights if you do something like that. I'm not gonna play with you. That is just because you're alienating yourself now. And then to talk about, the fact that it's about talking about emotions, most of the time when people talk about their emotions, they're projecting that onto something not real. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? To relate to one another, I think that's a good idea, but in terms of, I'm not too keen on talking about emotions part, just because I feel like some definitely exaggerate. And like I said, who the hell would talk about their emotions if 40% of them are bullies? I mean, come on. But that's obviously just a personal opinion, just because maybe it's just because I had bad experiences with that stuff. Although I ain't gonna play, it's not just me. I got emails talking about this. They got issues. Well, no kidding, they got issues, right? They talking about their damn emotions all the time. But I feel like relating to one another, that would be something beneficial, as long as it's not egging each other on to hate like certain groups, like, you know, like, I don't know, like straight people. As long as it doesn't do that, and then I would think that, you know, I think that would be something good. My childhood memories that I don't forget. Well, actually, that's interesting, because I recently communicated with my dad saying that, because he wants to fix the relationship between us, and the thing is, I always kind of avoided the topic because I didn't want to tell him the truth, because I didn't want to hurt him. You know, the childhood stuff, I definitely brought it out because I feel like the truth can help you fix the issue if he's willing to face it. I'm not even sure if he is. But the memories I remember was basically, I remember my hamster died, and my dad was hanging out with his friends in the living room. So I come out, you know, of course, all like red-eyed, because I just killed my hamster. Like, I killed it by accident. And his friends asked me what was wrong, and then my dad said, oh yeah, you know, her hamster died, and then he started to mock how I cried and everything. That's something I remember. I remember his friend's kid provoked me to call him an ass, and then he told on me, and then my dad basically beat me in front of everyone. And, you know, it wasn't really the beating that hurt me, it was more the fact that, you know, during, like, in the middle of the tears, I can see, like, you know, other kids laughing, so it's kind of like, I felt like a loser. That was something I never forgot. Like, that was just something that was hardcore. I want to say it was a little traumatizing, because it's kind of basically imbuing me to always feel ashamed. He, like, basically stripped me of my confidence from a very young age, you know? And so those are pretty much a couple of examples that I never forgot. And this is why, you know, I think it's really interesting how he never figured out, like, that was wrong to do to your own kid. I think that's why when I was talking about, remember my fake child, like, Tyler? Like, if I had my kid came up to me and said that, you know, he was transgendered, I think that's why, you know, I emphasized so much that I wanted him to feel I wanted him to be okay, like, to have confidence, because I know what it's like, to not be okay, to be shamed and humiliated. Like, that's what you're kind of taught to feel in the home. That's why it's just like, I really don't want that for my kid, because that would really fuck someone up. Because it's more like, success doesn't just come from teaching reliance. I mean, the most important thing is for them to be mentally sound. And confidence is definitely, like, a key thing. So, and that's pretty much how I knew, like, how to raise a kid, just because of the shit that happened to me. At least, I mean, ideally, that'd be how I raise my kid. I mean, I don't know, other people have other preferences. But I feel like, you know, you can't really force your kid to like you. And I understand there's disciplining, too. Like, when I discipline my kid, I would definitely have, like, a goal where it's kind of like I'd make sure he understands why it's wrong. And to basically feel sympathy, but not totally, like, shame and guilt. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, like Like, that's kind of like something that would be important to me too, where he understands, like, where he has some compassion. Well, I feel like he would if he was, if we shared the same gene, but if we didn't, then I would definitely make sure that he understands how to put himself in someone else's shoes. To not only have some compassion for others, but to also know how people think and how people feel, so if he gets bullied or whatever the fuck, he knows where it's coming from, like why. And I think knowing the why might help him like cope with it better. So, oh yeah, the point is, let's see, what else? What was the other question? Manson, DMX, Diddy, or Puff Daddy, because he was known as Puff Daddy back in the day. Slipknot, Treyu, Linkin Park. Actually, I listened to Linkin Park too. My Chemical Romance, The Used, and Britney Spears, NSYNC. And yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know. So yeah, so is that good? I hope it is. Have a good night.